Store, DBS Roofing, and Kwa Mixture will bring you day 6 of the election petition trial. A petition filed by former President Mahama seeking to annul the declaration of President Akufo-Addo as president-elect of the 2020 presidential elections. The court has set 5 questions that it will answer at the end of the processes unfolding in the courtroom. Here are the issues. 1 is whether or not there is any legal grounds for this petition. 2, whether or not Mr. Akufo-Addo obtained more than 50% of the total valid vote cast. 3, well, we'll come back and continue with the issues. Let's take you now live to the courtroom.
May it please my lords, Justin Amenuvo appears for the first respondent, with me, A.A. Somoa Asamoah.
If it pleases your lordships, I appear for the second respondent. My lords, with me are my learned colleagues, Frank Davis, Kweku Esefu, and Yao Pong.
I believe we adjourn after your ruling. We would request before the cross-examination begins that the tape that was tendered as part of the witness statement be played, respectfully. There's a tape that was tendered as part of the witness statement. Yes, my lord. My lord, it's tendered as part of the evidence in chief.
Yes, so he was sworn in and his witness statement was adopted on oath. So we think after cross-examination we can put it in.
I'm sorry, after cross-examination?
Yes. Or maybe you think maybe they will cross-examine on that.
Exactly. So it would have been better if it's played before. My lord, I mean, as that's what I thought, my lord.
always have some partner talking about and say, okay, to recheck whatever.
What do you remember the 1 hour before the declaration? What happened? Did they leave?
They left. Do I remember former Ghana's ambassador to Zimbabwe?
Tamaklo? Yes, Sylvanus.
Sylvanus came looking for
them.
Okay, them. But specifically, he was looking for Rojo.
Okay.
So he stood there and said, oh, they just went out. I think they will come because they are laptop and it's here. So he too was hanging around. Later, I was going to use the bathroom, but I saw him. I said, well, they will come, try and call him. So I just went to the bathroom and came back. He was still standing. When I came, they were not there. But we were waiting for Sabelugu and then certification of, I think, Bono East.
Okay.
Later, Bono East came, GUM side, MPP side, CPP side.
But NDC were not there.
NDC were not there.
So there's a story from the coalition room. There's a narrative that came out. Rojo, Mettle-Nunoo, and
That will be remanded.
Hello? My lord, are we ready to proceed?
You just have to remind the witness of the former oath.
Okay. Mr. Rojo Robert Rojo Mettle-Nunoo. On the 5th of February 2021, yes, you swore on the Bible to testify in this election petition to speak the truth, nothing but the truth. You still stand by it.
My lord, I stand by the oath I took. As a witness, yes.
So you are reminded of that oath. My lord, witness is reminded of the former oath.
Mr. Mettle-Nunoo, prior to you going into the strong room, did you familiarize yourself with the rules governing the 7th December elections?
My lords, yes, I did. I believe you are referring to CI 127.
Exactly so. Now, you know that under CI 127, the collation results that came to the EC headquarters that you describe as a strong room are only the presidential election results regional summary sheets from 12. Is that correct?
That is not the only information. That is not correct.
Now, if you look at the rules, what are you to receive from the regions? Tell the court.
In CI 127, the functions of the regional collation officer.
No, I'm not talking about the regional. I'm not talking about the regional collation officer. I'm talking about what you receive in the strong room. If you want to read, you need to seek permission from the court.
No, you asked me an initial question that do I know the procedure, the processes in the strong room? And I said that the original results as submitted to the strong room should not just include the summary. It should include the 275 constituency results that make up that summary.
Oh.
You cannot present the summary without justification of the summary. So logically, the summary is justified in terms of verification by the representatives of the presidential candidates in the strong room by confirming that the additions of the summary are indeed true and accurate before you certify.
Now, let's move on. You granted an interview on the premises of the EC on the 8th of December 2020 to Kwesi Parker Wilson of Joy FM. Do you recall?
Yes, I do recall.
Now, in that interview, you stated that, among other things that you said that the NDC had deployed 275 lawyers throughout all the constituencies in Ghana. Do you recall?
Yes, I do recall.
You also said that your party had deployed over 16 lawyers to all the regional centers in Ghana. Do you recall?
I do recall. That is correct.
Did those representatives of yours, did they perform their roles diligently?
The legal representatives of the party, as deployed in the 275 constituencies and in the 16 regional coalition centers of the EC, perform their duties, but they are not the returning officer of the EC. They are not the returning officer of the EC.
Now, if they perform their duties diligently, it presupposes that under the rules, the set of forms that were being churned out, they at every time had duplicate copies. Is that agreed?
The legal representatives were not the assigned persons to have the duplicate copies. It was the party's election directorate that was mandated by the party to assemble and receive the pink sheets as declared, the duplicate pink sheets.
And those duplicate pink sheets were received by the agents appointed by the petitioner at each constituency and, for that matter, the regional level. Is that correct?
If you are referring to the pink sheets that were officially handed over at the end of the collation, yes, that is correct. But in some other instances, many other pink sheets also started to appear.
Now, we'll go on. You have testified that you made a mistake in certifying the Ashanti regional summary sheet in your paragraph 11. Is that correct?
My lords, I indicated that I made a mistake on the Ashanti summary sheet declaration in the EC strong room for very specific reasons.
Now, when did you realize that mistake?
I haven't finished answering the question, please. Your lords, I haven't finished answering the question.
You are not to repeat your previous statement. Just answer the questions and let's move on, please. I'm asking the questions.
I've answered the question and I have supporting arguments for the answer I've given you. Am I not permitted to elaborate on that?
You are not supposed to make arguments. You are just to answer my questions.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm not arguing with you, my lords. I'm not arguing with you. I'm saying you have to give me a fair opportunity to answer the question. I'm a witness. I must be given a fair opportunity to answer the question.
I am saying that the next question I have for you is that would you tell this court when you realize this monumental mistake of yours? Tell the court.
Which monumental mistake are you referring to?
You are saying that in the summary, in the national headquarters of the EC, you made a mistake in certifying the Ashanti results. That is a monumental mistake. So tell this court when you realize that. Paragraph 11 of your witness statement. Tell the court.
Subsequent to my signing. Now let me go back a little bit. Before the signing, I had opportunity to speak to Dr. Sribwopaku about my concerns that I had observed. I drew Dr. Sribwopaku's attention to some observations that I had made on the summary sheet. And then he said he was going to make phone calls to the region to find out the concerns that I had raised.
No.
Indeed, he made some phone calls. So it is not as if I just got up and signed. There is a sequence, there's a process that led to me finally signing. There's a process. But I did complain initially to Dr. Pap, and he made phone calls to the region.
Are you aware that after you were denouncing what Goja Jemfi had done, one of the lawyers you sent to the Ashanti region, Victor Kojogan Adaudu, came out to speak against what you were doing because they, the legal team, after certifying everything, told Goja Jemfi it was okay to sign Ashanti. I'm putting that to you.
I am not aware that the lawyer said anything contrary to what I was doing in the strong room. I have no knowledge of that, my lord.
It was all over in the social media and on the media as well.
No, you're asking me to testify, and I'm saying categorically that I have no knowledge of it. Social media was not available to me in the strong room. I'm sorry.
You also stated that, you know, in order for me not to look like a troublemaker, I also certified some of the forms. It's in your evidence in chief. Do you recall that paragraph 21, I think?
I specifically indicated that I was cooperating fully with the Electoral Commission as a representative of the presidential candidate I was representing. I had a mandate to be there to seek his interest, and I was cooperating with the EC in that regard. There are previous instances of how the EC conducts the business of the strong room, and that includes the opportunity for representatives of each political presidential candidate to explain or to seek explanation and to discuss issues as when they arise in the strong room.
Let me read for you what you said in paragraph 21. You said, I must also say that the fact that I signed sheets in respect of a number of regions shows clearly that my colleague and I were not there to put spokes in the wheels of the process of getting the proper basis for a constitutionally appropriate declaration of the results of the presidential election to be made. So I'm asking you that of the forms that you certified, you said you made a mistake on some you didn't want to put the spokeswork. So tell the court, which forms did you certify that you were satisfied with, and which forms did you certify that you made a mistake?
Can you kindly repeat the question, please? You were speaking too fast. I couldn't hear you.
I say, in one vein, you are telling the court that I made a mistake in signing some of the forms. In another vein, you said, oh, you know, I do not want to put spokes in the words, so I signed the forms. Tell this court, because you have signed quite a number of forms, 13. Tell this court, which ones did you sign making mistakes, and which ones did you sign not wanting to put spokes in the words?
Very well, my lords. To the best of my knowledge and recall, if I may be given a little time to pick up the summary sheets, I'll take them one by one.
My lords.
Counsel,
we had issues.
Permission,
we had issues.
Excuse me.
With the Greater Accra.
Mr. Mettle-Nunoo, please, if he wants to refresh his memory, I think you can ask for leave, but we will not allow him to be looking to processes which we don't have access to and not in evidence to be answering questions.
Oh, well, that's appropriate, and I think that is an indication that we shall give to him. You are not allowed, without leave of the court, to refer to documents unless we ask for leave. And if you want to refer to documents, you need to tell us what you want to refer to refresh your memory, and then we ask the court for leave. So what documents were you seeking to refer to?
The first respondent's lawyer was asking me to specifically indicate the regional summary sheets that I signed or certified that later I had problems with.
So that we found, a common path to where we are going. He is asking you a question. Respond. He said, which document are you trying to look at so that you ask the permission of the court to allow you to do so? Period.
My lords, I'm looking at the 16 regional summary sheets. 16 of the regional summary sheets.
And where did those summary sheets come from?
The summary sheets that I'm referring to are summary sheets that were made available to my team in the strong room during the collation of the results from the regional level.
My lords, we respectfully ask for leave for him to refresh his memory by reference to those documents.
My lords, those 16 regional summary sheets are not part of any of the exhibits in this case. He cannot refer to them.
He participated.
My lord, I'm saying that as a matter of law. A party cannot refer to a document that is not in evidence to answer a question. It is not the right way to go.
A witness is in the box, especially in matters which we have to resort to documentary evidence. There may be a mass of evidence, and the witness may not have ready knowledge of everything. If he had something to do with it, it is allowable.
It is true that the witness cannot be expected.
But he's not a witness from nowhere. He is on oath as having said that.
My lord,
he took part as agent for the petitioner in the strong room. He probably had access to these documents coming from summary sheets and the rest coming from, obviously.
My lords, my point is, we do not know whether the document he's referring to is an official document. It is a say so, and we do not know because it is not a document exhibited in these proceedings.
Oh,
because the witness is not a stranger to the proceedings or what's happening at the front.
Yes, my lords, now the issue that we have at hand is that the petitioner refused to put any evidence before the court. Now the witness, with the witness there says that he has the summary sheets. With the greatest respect, I would want him to tell us. He should tell us, my lords.
In other words,
yes, my lord.
In other words, you have no objection to him referring to what he claims to be his summary sheet.
Yes, my lord. Yes.
So let's go on.
He should go ahead. Tell us. Tell us the summary sheets that you signed and those that you didn't sign.
Right. My lords, respectfully, counsel for the first respondent says he has no objection, but I believe counsel for the second respondent raised an objection. And I believe your lordships may want to consider that, and your lordships may wish to hear me. Your lordships may wish to hear me on that. Your lordships will notice that before I even asked your lordships leave, I asked him what documents he's referring to. And he said the 16 summary sheets. And I asked him where he got it from. And he said he got it from the EC. So, my lords, it is clear that those are documents that he is swearing on oath are official documents. The fact that they are not in evidence has nothing to do with a witness refreshing his memory by reference to those documents.
Yes. So answer the question.
My lords, very well. The answer to the question are in two parts. They are in two parts. There are some documents that I signed or certified, and they are Upper West Region. Upper West Region. Then I certified.
Let's go on. You have been written by agent. Upper West Region. Your agent had signed on that form, not so. The regional agent had signed on that form 12, not so.
The Upper West Region, yes, the NDC agent in the person of Mohammed Ilyasu signed, and the summary sheet was officially signed at 3:26 p.m. on the 8th of December.
Yeah, Mr. Maneuver, I was reminding you, see, the question you asked a specific question to give you the summary sheets which he signed as a result of a mistake, and those he signed because he didn't want to, maybe create or place impediments. Now, he is doing so. Then after mentioning one, you stop him and then ask another question. You see, when you do that, you confuse the witness. Let the witness answer the question to the end. Then after that, maybe you can take them region by region, please.
Well, my lords. Please go.
My lords, may I continue?
Yes.
My lords, I also observed that the fax that was sent to the EC strong room
No. Please.
was also received.
Mr. Mettle-Nunoo. Mr. Mettle-Nunoo.
Yes, sir.
You are to tell
Your
the
Lordship.
court the forms that you certified by mistake and those that you certified because you didn't want to put spokes in the works. That is what you are supposed to do. Well, I am the questioner. My lords, respectfully, there's nowhere in the witness statement where he says, I signed some because I didn't want to put spokes.
Mr. Chikata, that was the question that was on the table, and that's what we are waiting for the answer. No. I beg your pardon, hold on, may I finish, Mr. Chikata? Paragraph 21 of his witness statement, he says, I must also say that the fact that I signed sheets in respect of a number of regions shows clearly that my colleague and I were not there to put spokes in the wheel of the process of getting the proper basis for constitutionally appropriate declaration of the results of the presidential election to be made. And this is the paragraph that was read out to him. And so this is the answer, this is the question that my ears are open to hear the answer to. Could you kindly let the witness give us an answer?
Well, but if he's repeating the question by misleading the witness in terms of what is in that paragraph, because he says, tell us which he signed because he didn't want to put spokes in the wheel. The witness never said that.
That is the question he asked him.
He can say so. The witness can say so.
Please, proceed.
My lords, so in respect of Upper West region, the fax was also received.
No, you have spoken about Upper West. Can you go to the next region? Go to the next
I'm giving you the basis on which I signed and the basis on which I did not sign some.
I did not ask.
That was the question.
You have given the court two reasons. One, you signed by mistake. Two, you did not want to put spokes in the works. You are telling the court, the one that you signed by your mentor's mistake. The second, the one that you signed because you didn't want to put spokes in the works. You have dealt with Upper West. Can we go to the next?
And I'm responding, my lords. I'm answering the question because there are some that have specific issues. I indicated in my statement that I had problems with the system of the EC. The system was not working. You have a situation where
Mr. Mettle-Nunoo.
Yes, my lord. Yes, my lord.
To help us to arrive at a decision that is premised on proper records. You have been asked the question. There are 16 regions. Please group the two answers into regions, and then you can move on, please.
Very well, my lord. Very well, my lord. So the Upper West region, I signed on the face of the summary without any confirmation of the constituency results that make up that summary. But I signed that one. That's Upper West region.
Go to the next region.
Northern region, I had problems with that one. I had problems with Northern region.
So you didn't certify that one? You didn't certify Northern region?
I was taking up issue with the EC.
You did not certify Northern region. Please answer the question. You did not certify Northern region. Is that correct?
No, I did not certify Northern region.
So let's go to the next.
Very well. Ahafo.
Yes, we are waiting for you.
I certified Ahafo without having full access to the relevant constituency summary sheets that led to this summary, but I signed it.
What other region? You have mentioned three.
Central region.
Yes.
I signed Central region, but I had serious observations on the summary sheets in the way it was signed. Because if I'm permitted to show it in evidence,
you certify
it will become very clear.
Let's go on to the next region. Let's go on to the next region.
Very well. Volta region.
Yes.
Volta. I certified Volta region.
Good. Let's go
again without the full complement of confirmation of the various constituency results.
Fine, let's go on to the next.
Western North region. I signed Western North region, but we had issues with Sefri. Sefri also.
Yes. Okay. Let's go on to the next.
I did not certify Greater Accra region.
Good. Let's go on to the next.
Because there were issues with the Greater Accra region summary sheets and how they came into the strong room.
Let's go on to the next.
Eastern region. Eastern region. In the case of Eastern region, we received 2 different summary sheets in the strong room.
Did you certify Eastern or you did not?
I did, but I was raising subsequent issues with the commissioner, and this was one of the regions with which I had issue. Eastern region, there were two results sent to the EC strong room. 2 results.
Your evidence in chief.
The law provides for only one summary sheet.
Listen to me. You have said so in your evidence in chief. Your 2 previous colleagues have spoken about it. Your answer to the question is that you certified Eastern. Is that not so?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Go to the next region.
Pardon?
Go to the next region.
Does it mean you are not asking the question on the
with my answer? Go to the next region.
Very well. Bono East.
Yes.
We had issues with Bono East.
Did you certify or not?
Bono East was one of the summary sheets I did not sign. I'm answering the question. Can you be patient with me?
Okay, so
I did not sign Bono East. I did not sign Bono East.
Let's go on to the next region.
OT region. I did not. I observed some issues with OT.
Or you did not? OT.
But I certified. But I observed some challenges with OT. But I signed.
Let's go on to the next. Let's go on to the next.
Western region.
Yes.
I certified, but I drew attention to the EC to some anomalies which they corrected.
Let's go on to the next.
I signed.
Yes, good. Let's go on to the next.
I believe I've done Central region already.
You have. Let me assist you what is left. We have Northeast, Bono, Upper East.
Okay. Northeast. Northeast. I signed, but we had issues with the summation.
No problem. Now, Bono. Bono.
I signed Bono, but we had issues. I signed Bono, but we had issues.
Fantastic. Let's go.
German North.
Upper East. Upper East.
Upper East. signed Upper East region.
Great. Now let's go to Savannah.
Without the full complement of the confirmation from the constituencies.
Yes, so that's no worries. Let's go to Savannah.
Come again?
Let's go to Savannah.
Savannah. My lord, I cannot immediately find Savannah.
You cannot immediately? You are not talking about the now, we are talking about the then. Did you sign Savannah?
My lord, I wish to remind you that I said I needed to refresh my memory by looking at the very document before me. And if I cannot find Savannah, you're asking me to recall? I've just told you that I needed to refresh my memory by looking at the fiscal documents.
Have you found Savannah amongst your documents?
I believe I told your lordship that I was looking for Savannah.
All right, look for it. I'll wait for you.
Very well.
Are you waiting for me or I'm waiting for you? Look, let me put it to you so we move on. I am putting it to you that you certified Savannah and your agent called Mumuni S. Ibni signed on that form in the region before it came to Accra. I'm putting that to you. I need an answer so I can move on.
My lords, I have some issue with the microphone here. Can you please repeat the question?
I am saying that I am putting it to you that you certified Savannah and your agent in the region called Mumuni S. Ibni signed at the region before it came to the national.
That is correct.
Good. Now, the forms that you have before you, you know, on the right side, where they sign, there's a column that if you would not sign, you need to give reasons for your refusal or your failure to sign. Do you see that column?
Yes, I see the column.
Good. Now, I am putting it to you that all the forms that your regional agents did not sign, they didn't assign a single reason for their refusal to sign. I'm putting that to you.
My lord, could you repeat the question? Could you repeat the question?
I am saying that of all the forms that your agent in the regions did not sign, apart from Western North that you certified, they didn't assign any reason on the right column for their refusal to sign those forms. I'm putting that to you.
On the face of the summary sheets, that is the situation, but that doesn't mean that they didn't have issues.
No, no problem. Now, I am also putting it to you that if you look at the rules, the first respondent, together with you, the agents, were supposed to assemble and collate the presidential election results from the regions provided by the various regional collation officers as set out in Form 12 of the schedule. I'm putting that to you.
That is the rule, but not the practice. We are in court to review the performance relating to the practice and the efficiency with which they declare the results. That's why we're in court.
Mr. Witness,
we are specifically
the court will determine the reliefs. We can't have the lawyers speaking. This is all right, go on.
I'm saying that yes, there is a provision for reasons if you refuse to sign. There are reasons if you refuse to sign. But I'm saying that even the EC's own officials certified various summary sheets in error. The blame is not only on party representatives and agents. The official representatives of the returning officer also certify results. They were not just there to just fill forms and forward it. They were there to make sure that the result of what was being forwarded was accurate and was not giving the opportunity for votes that had been cast to be lost in the declaration.
So speak for yourself. You are by this telling the court that your agents, including you, failed the petitioner monumentally by signing forms when they shouldn't sign, failing to assign reasons when they should. I am putting that to you.
That is incorrect. That is incorrect. Because on many occasions in the strong room even, the EC itself and its officials found the need to amend summary sheets of the regions. These had already been signed by the regional representatives, but they found it necessary to cause the various results to be re-amended without the presence of our agents. Without the presence of our agents. And it's for that reason that the returning officer, who is Jean Mensah, was expected to give an opportunity for redress before the final declaration. And that is why we went to seek audience with her. So apart from the 4 regional summary sheets that I did not sign, apart from the 4 regional sheets that I did not sign, we later on discovered, for example, that there were other regions that had issues. And if they had been minded to have that amended, we will not be in this situation we are in now.
Right.
Dr. Afarijan gave opportunity in the past for some of these things to be rectified. He did. He gave opportunity for these things to be rectified.
Mr. Mettle-Nunoo, you recall that you indicated to the court that you have familiarized yourself with the rules under CI 127, not so?
That is correct.
Are you well aware that CI 127 revoked the arrangements that used to be the practice under Afarijan, as you have said? Are you aware?
It did not entirely revoke that. It said that in the new amendment and in the new arrangement, you must still maintain best practices. They didn't throw out everything in the previous thing. They said you must have best practices. Best practices.
Good. When did you leave the strong room for the second time on the 9th?
I left the strong room. The first time I left the strong room was when the EC sacked me from the strong room. That was the first time I left the room.
When was this?
The EC sacked me from the strong room.
When was this?
It had never happened before.
When was
In
this?
previous elections, I stayed there for 72 hours.
When was this?
That I left the strong room for the second time.
For the second time, that's what I'm asking you.
I left the strong room the second time to seek audience with the electoral commissioner. That was when. Come again.
The time of the day.
It was somewhere between 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock.
On what day?
But you have already said it's on the 9th. It's on the 9th.
Well, if you are being rude, it's to the court, not to me.
No, you made the question. You said that on the 9th, when was the second time you left the room? And I'm answering. Then you are trying to, divert me to make some other statement. You are talking about the 9th, and I'm responding to you on the 9th that I left the room for the second time between 3 and 4.
At the time you were leaving, had you seen the forms for the northern region? The original
By the time I was leaving, yes, I had seen the forms for the northern region, and I had issues with the forms for the northern region.
Yes.
And that was one of the reasons I went to see the commissioner.
You had earlier told the court that you didn't sign that form. That is fine. But I just want to find out from you whether at the time you were leaving, you had seen the form from the northern region. Now, I believe that you answered that you had seen the form.
I can also tell you exactly the time I saw the forms.
Okay, that'll be fine. Tell us.
Northern region, the northern region forms were faxed to the strong room at 3:47 p.m. PM. 3:47 p.m.
On what day?
On the 9th. On the 9th. On the 9th.
Thank you very much. So, at the time that you were leaving the strong room, all the original sheets had come. I am putting that to you. All had come. The northern was the last to come. I'm putting that to you.
As correct summary sheets.
As the summary sheets. You had seen all of them.
There's a distinction that has to be made.
Please answer my question. Leave the distinction for the
then that is not correct, because Greater Accra was outstanding. Eastern region was outstanding, to the best of my knowledge.
No.
Bono was out. No, just a minute. In terms of correct summary sheets, you can fax something to the strong room, but it may not be correct. And the issue you raised here
Rojo
is...
Metal. Please listen, Mettle-Nunoo, sorry. Please, this is a very simple question. Go straight to the point. He's not asking you genuine or whatever, or correct or incorrect or whatever. He's asking you a very simple question. Let's try and make some headway.
and your party raised issues with that appointment. Is that not so?
My who and my who? I didn't hear the question.
I said the petitioner and your party, the NDC party.
I heard anti. That is why I said who. I didn't hear party. I heard
NDC
anti.
party. Order in court, please. Order. You had issues. You raised issues with her appointment, not so?
Not that I recall.
Good.
Not that I recall.
Okay. And when the EC decided to have a new register, your party took the matter to court, not so?
I read that in the news.
Now, prior to the 7th December elections, your party variously raised issues about the performance of the chairperson of the EC, not so?
Can you repeat the question, please?
I'm saying that prior the events, the timing leading to the 7th December elections, your party and the petitioner raised issues about the performance of the chairperson of the EC, not so?
That I do recall.
Do you recall that?
Yes, I do, in great detail. In great detail.
Good. Now, in spite of that, you want this court and the people of Ghana to believe that the person that you have distrusted so much tells you to leave the strong room and go to the petitioner, and you left, both of you. Huh? Tell us.
My lords, there are two different issues here. I was asked by the petitioner to represent him with a team. I was there with Dr. Professor White to represent him in a very specific mandate. The presidential candidate, in spite of all the things you said, did not say he was withdrawing from the poll because of all the things you've alluded to. He still took part in the election.